like you've completed quite a few of my contracts. But don't be too proud of yourself. I'm only half finished with you. There's still plenty of contracts left to finish. You didn't think you could get away with just completing the main objectives, did you? Now go on, back to work.
That's a cutscene I accidentally missed because when I hit 56 stamps, the halfway point, that's some dialogue that you get, so I had to re-record. Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are off for more of a Hat in Time, Seal the Deals, Death Wishes, and in the last episode, we had to do the 10 seconds to self-destruct, which was absolute murder after grabbing some coins in Subcon Forest. We can now go through a purple time rift. You know that we were missing a couple more time rifts? This is where they're located. This is one. Collect every rift pond, which I normally do. Collect all the storybook pages, which is what I normally do. And we gotta just, well, beat the level. Yes, you can do peace and tranquility, I believe. But there's not really much point because you can do that with the other purple time rifts that are in the game. It's basically just a fan-made time rift. And they actually gave the story pages that were included in the mod purpose. So, technically, hats off to you right here. Let's hop right in, and this one's got some interesting mechanics. Rhythm Jump Studio. Ah, we can relax. Now, I like to have the sprint hat because I don't think the time hat is going to help us. Listen to the music and look at these blocks. In fact, you have a little effect that actually lets you know yourself because your eyes will always mostly be on Hat Kid. So yeah, this level is quite reminiscent to that Flip Switch Galaxy or those other levels where like the blocks actually like switch to the beat. Cheeky little page behind the actual exit there. Of course, we got the purple mod HUD available for us, HUD mod, to help us out with going through this level. But yeah, this level is mostly just a platforming challenge with very catchy disco music, where you have to pretty much platform to the beat because the level itself moves to the beat. If I'm silent for any moments, it's because I'm concentrating to listen to the actual beat of the music. But yeah, we've still got all these pages to grab, which will give us a story. And it actually does make a little bit of sense in the context of where we're actually platforming through. Remember, these are mods, so this is pretty much a mod that was chosen to be included within the Seal the Deal DLC. And they just didn't have anywhere to stick it, so they stuck it in as a Death Wish. Which is actually quite cool, because it could be more challenging than most other levels, which in this case has a very unique gimmick that's exclusive to the level, as well as the music track. In fact, Haki kind of like marches along while going through, so yeah, it kind of works really well. Who knows, maybe Queen Vanessa was actually a party queen. But yeah, so we just got a platform to the beat. True Mario style. Looks like it's Rhythm Bird Studio. And it's like a nice reward for actually putting yourself through the pain in order to get this far. You've done enough Death Wishes. Here's a purple time rift for you. I thought I was going to fall through that, like halfway, but I was fine. Now, one thing I do need to make mention, like similar to like, well, since the challenge road's now out at the time of recording this, obviously, because I'm quite late because of the challenge road, Death Wishes and other stuff as well, doing on the channel not for like the past year. Yeah, just like the Death Wishes and where like challenge road as well, where you're going through like a purple or blue time rift, you won't actually. Oh, whoops, missed a page here. You get a roll from the Rift Roulette after completion. Even though this is a purple time rift, it is in just like the rift collapses. They are just like the ones in the challenge road, on which you do not actually get a Rift Roulette spin if you're in a Death Wish kind of mode, unless it's the final one in the case of Challenge Road, if it registers as a blue or purple time rift. In this case though, since these are actually Death Wish, keep mixing them up because they use the same resources. As it's classified as a Death Wish on the Death Wish map, we're not going to get a Rift Roulette spin, despite if we have stuff in the Rift Roulette or not. So, keep that in mind, you're not going to get like a prize for, well, like a Rift Roulette spin prize for completing this. You'll get free stamps just like others, but at least it's more traditional. And funnily enough, because of the Death Wish stamps themselves, they're pretty much what you would normally do in the main game anyway. Getting all the ponds if you want to grab them all because you are a completionist, and grab all the storybook pages because you want to. Plus the story, the Diary Plus mod actually helps out with that as well, because obviously it tracks it for you. So it actually adds them as permanent collectibles to a point. So if we have them all, we can check the story whenever we want. So that's pretty cool. So that'll probably be the end card for this episode. Instead of the usual Death Wish map that I normally have. Yeah, I know it's a bit more of a static end card for, like, or end screen for this part of the Let's Play, but it is the Death Wish. That's pretty much what we're focusing on at this point. It's all regulated to that point of the game. So, showing the map shows the progress that we made at the end of the episode, so that's why I do that. But this one might be a bit of a change, because, well, we've got story, and that's significant. Just heading down this way to make sure I haven't missed anything. There's a heart pond here that I don't think I need to worry about. Actually, I don't think you need to come down here at all. I don't see any of those. Did I miss anything over there? Nope. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, so I'm actually getting a little bit turned around now. I want to jump over here to get back to a higher plane a little quicker. Don't need to go up that way because I've already done that, so I guess it's this way next. We need 4 ponds to move onwards. We've got the middle bit to do as well, but I tend to do that last. There's actually a pond over there I might want to go grab, so let's go do that. If I do a lunge, I can land in the middle. There we are. The magnet badge helps us grabbing it, so we don't have to try and extend ourselves. I actually jumped and, well, snapped and jumped off the tightrope, not zipline. I always get them confused, but I guess they both do apply. I've been getting my lingo mixed up quite a lot recently. Like, I keep calling the Snatchers Death Wish stamps badges, sometimes stickers, and yet we haven't even got to that yet, so that's a thing. You know what I mean in the moment, but still, it's kind of annoying. Sometimes when I say Death Wish, I say Challenge Road or vice versa. That's because they use the same elements. I don't mean to be confusing in any regard there, but if you get what I mean, in the moment, it's not a problem. I timed that wrong! I'm trying not to cut as much, even though I had to pause because I had a bit of a brain fart and losing where I was in my thing. It probably would have been edited seamlessly, but you know. Got to make sure I actually have what I'm trying to say without getting distracted by what I'm actually doing in the game. I'm missing it. Wait, is it over there? Yeah, it's over there. It's because it's glowing. I missed it. Came up this way, but I didn't turn around and make the jump backwards. You can probably make it from the zipline or tightrope as well, so that's not a problem. Good thing that I saw the glow, because I was like, hang on a minute, I know I'm missing something. I fell short! And that's another thing about the music as well. If, for whatever reason, your computer's like lagging or a lag spike happens and the music gets desynced by the blocks actually switching, the music will kind of stutter, skip, or even just outright reload itself to match up. So, keep that in mind. So, let's go to this. Okay, so we've got to time that. Otherwise that will happen. Or we could just hold forward. You don't really need to time it. But yeah, I normally come up this way first. There's probably a more optimized route, but I know the route that I always do, so this will be the route. So let's come over this way. Something all the way up there, but we're going to have to keep coming back to the beginning at some point. This is pretty much just a bunch of sprawling pathways. The other one was a lot more centered, and the first one was kind of like a big old box. There we are. No bonk helps. I've still got that equipped. If you can see by my HUD, that shows up on the screen every so often. I haven't had many comments actually mentioning about the actual HUD if people want it on or off, so I get some feedback on that. That'd be cool. Don't mess this up. I'm just doing a few lunges to keep myself, give myself more airtime. I think that's just a weird window suspended in nothing, so we don't have to worry about that. I forgot to climb up that bit. Oh no, wait, I can't do that from there. Yeah. I get confused. Ignore me. Do this. There we are. Okay. Okay, I think there's just ponds up there. I don't think I need to go get over there for a page. I don't think the page would be there. So we'll use this to pretty much bounce back to the beginning of this segment. I tend to like to use the sprint hat a lot. Actually, where is this going to take me? Ah, it bounces me further up. I think I need that. So let me get the sprint hat back. Let's come over this way. I'll go back down to the beginning here, roughly. Yeah, because we were over there. So, let's come. I was actually quite close to that. I'm surprised I wasn't getting hit. Yeah, because we got a wall jump up here, so. I was actually holding forward into the wall. I didn't wall climb, excuse me. I know I wasn't at the right angle, but normally that's not an issue, because I've done it at much more weird angles than that. I'm actually not having much luck here. But, oh, okay. This is going a bit janky for me. There we go. I just wasn't timing it right, my bad. I want to go this way. Yeah, that's definitely a lunge cancel to climb up a bit easier. Probably don't need to, but I tend to. And plus, no bonk helps. Lunge if you're going to run out of time to platform around there. I think I didn't miss any page. No, wait, hang on. No, I didn't miss any pages throughout this, did I? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Let's go get this one up top, because that's probably bugging everybody at this point. I know that my commentary's quite stilted. Like I said, I'm trying to like keep my concentration for the timing. This doesn't take as long as you think. So, yeah, so we're going to have to time it here. Ha! Oh, God. I got stuck underneath. Oh, I got stuck inside. I was pulling forward, but she didn't move forward. There we are. Okay, that's cool. So now we can actually see everything around here. I think my next course of action... It's not that segment. Yeah, actually, it will be this segment. So let's go get the ice hat. I know I should learn to do a quick switch with the control pad a lot more often than I do, but I just don't for some reason. It's just not what I'm used to. There we go. I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that at all. That was completely superfluous, but... It is a bit weird that there's that little ledge there without a page. Can I please salvage? No, I can't. Timed it wrong like a stupid moron. That I am. I am a stupid moron. Let's come back over this way. Jesus, that would have been stupid. Right. There we are. Nailed it. Right, I think I'm good. I don't need to climb up there. I can check behind. I'm pretty sure the page is not around this particular area. I'm pretty sure. So that's cool. Let me bash you. Now we can go do the final area, which I normally save for last. In fact, is that? No, that's definitely a pond that we need, but we do need to get up there. So we've done all this. We've done all that. Got to head back in that direction, so I want to come up around this way since it'll be a lot easier. Yep, this is where we need to be, so let's get this the sprint hat back, just so I prefer it. I mean, I guess the time stop hat probably would be better, but the music will still go, I believe. In fact, let's test that out right now, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, the timer, it does actually slow everything down a bit. That's fine. Now, there is actually a way to cheese this here, but there's the page, right behind there. That's where I need to go. So I need to go onto this steel beam. It's a lot easier than trying to platform your way around and then go around again. As long as I don't get pushed off by the stack of boxes. There we are. Oh boy, I don't like that. The camera kind of swivels by itself. You could probably cheese it by climbing up the side of the purple block from that angle. So you don't have to try and time your jump so you don't get hit and land on the purple at the same time, but that's a thing. I'm going to sprint jump this. Hey-yay! And there we are. That's this area sorted. I knew it was somewhere quite high up. Should have saved this to later, I will admit, because it kind of launches us over here, but that's not that much of a problem. All we got to do is do that and do this, jump-a-rooney, and we can go straight into the pond. Alright, time for the final segment. Yeah, this goes on for quite a while. That's the exit. I do not want to go this way. I tried to salvage and I went the wrong way. That's fine. We'll grab two of these. Looks like we've got to climb this big award statue thing. I got stuck in the wall. I was climbing up it, but I got stuck inside it somehow. Oh my god, this ain't working. Right. There we are. Little bit of timing. Gotta, like, recover or some sauce. Also, look at that little teeny weeny dog on the top here. Little Easter egg right there, you see that? Can we interact with that by any means? No, we can't. I didn't actually notice that until just now, but I just saw a sparkle and I'm like, what's that sparkle? Right, so we've done that. Let's go, oh wait, this way. There we are, that's what we need to do. Yeah, the blocks are getting a lot more longer now, so we're going to have to actually sprint if we want to make it correct, or jump ahead of time. So like that. There we are. There's a box here. It had a heart pod in it. Thanks, guys. I truly appreciate. Yeah, this isn't a death wish. This is a party wish. Oh, God! Okay, we're back here. I guess I have been cutting, but I'll try to sync it up with the music so it's not that bad. I wanted to get through this without cutting, but I kind of screwed up a couple of times there, so it's kind of a necessary evil. Right, jump onto this blue, and then we gotta go. And just don't move! Well, oh no, I'm glad I actually did miss, because that would have dropped me into the exit. I always do that bit first, because it's where you start, but it's the exit, you don't want that, so that would be a big problem. Okay, I'm actually a little bit low on health now, as I haven't done this very well at all. Right, let's get some height. There we are. I hope I don't die. That would be so bad. I got stuck in the block again! But that's not helpful! I'm trying to make the jumps. I get stuck in, but without any visual indication that I have, and I'm the one who suffers. That's not fair. Just because it's a death wish. That's pretty much all it is. That's my excuse. Just because it's a death wish, I have to suffer. I know it's not a good outlook, but that's just the way it is. That's why I'm not a fan of the death wishes, even if they're just normal levels. I do prefer this over the rest of them, but it is a death wish. So, And there's no more heart ponds around here, which is really not helping me at the moment. Makes me wonder if I want to start slapping on another thing. At least we've got the other page here, so if I do have to redo this, I won't have to show off getting all the pages again. It's one more pond I need. And I've got to get back down here. Right, so let's get the ice hat to go back to the start. It's because I did it all in the wrong order. You're supposed to go clockwise, not anti-clockwise like I did. I always do that. I always do that and I can't stop myself from doing it. I'm just used to doing it that way. No, no, that's a bad thing! Oh my lord! How did I salvage that? I didn't time it very well. Right. I'm gonna clutch this. Clutch daddy. No, that's not good. I did it. I don't know why I say clutch daddy, but I'm watching too much DGR. Oh, this is the worst bit! Oh no, I'm gonna die here. If I void out even once, I'm done. That's annoying. It's got to be synced up as well. Like that. Okay. That's the worst of it. I need to get to the edge just to be on the safe side. Well, if you can call that the safe side, but it's easier to time. There we are! We got everything! Woo! Yeah, I got everything. I was getting a bit paranoid. I had to check the thing for a second. Okay, this is the last bit, and I'm going to mess this up. No, I'm not! We are here! And it finishes just like the very first the act of the Battle of the Birds chapter. Get the 3 ponds on the way to the podium. Bash the thing open. We get a nice bit of jazz celebration. I do not like how that's so close to the edge. Thank you for that. And I did it! Wow. But I messed up more than I should have at the end there, but I still did it. Finally, for the end of this episode, we need to take it all the way back to Subcon Forest again, because it's the next area that we gotta deal with. In fact, Mafia Town's pretty much done. Didn't say that at the beginning of this episode, but yeah, there's nothing else appearing over there at the moment. So, the next common denominator in chapter order is this one. Right next to the candle that we pretty much started with. It's a boss bash! That's right, down with the Mafia and everyone else. No healing between fights with 3 lives. If you find a health pond you don't grab it right away, you might need it later. So basically, take off your magnet badge. It's better to grab the pond yourself and not have it being drawn towards you, because you could use it for later. Also, if possible, heal before you go to the next battle, because it's not going to be kind. Here's the thing. These are the normal bosses, so they're not EX, that is fine. In fact, the other EX ones are coming up soon. Basically, they're all normal. The normal Mafia, one of the 2 birds, the outhouse, the Snatcher, and of course, the final boss of the game. Now, which is Moustache Girl. Now, here's the thing. No healing between fights. That means when you go to the next one, your health stays the way that it is. So, that's a problem. And other than the first battle, because you're always going to spawn back there if you fail there anyway, if you've gone past the first battle and beat the Mafia boss, you have 3 lives, and if you lose all 3 lives, it's back to the Mafia boss with you. Never missing a chance to attack, and with the one-hit hero badge. Now, I struggle. Saying that's an understatement. Of course I struggle. Everybody would probably struggle doing it with a one-hit hero badge. And I'm going to say this again. This is one that I Peace and Tranquility for all 3 stamps, because I can't do it with a one-hit hero badge. So, of course, once again, it will be Crabbar's video. And not only that, but adding up to at least 3 deaths, or how many deaths I do have in order to Peace and Tranquility this, I'm not even going to show my attempts. We're going to see how Crabbar does it. I will attempt to try once or twice or so to try and get through all of the battles. That was a lot easier than I remember. I might actually show off my attempt to actually just not miss an attack. I might not even need to pay Peace and Tranquility this. I wasn't going to die on purpose. I might have recorded. So I'm going to continue recording and see if I can do it. Now what? Again, what knocked me back? What's knocking me? I can't see anything knocking me back. I think I missed a chance, many chances to attack there. That's kind of upsetting, but you can never really tell because it doesn't go blue. You know when you need to hit him, but you don't know if it will count it or not. I landed on the shockwave. Dang it! Wait, hang on a minute. I just realised I lost a life, but when spawning back in, I only have 2 hits. So if you lose a life, I forgot about that. If you lose a life, you don't even spawn back with full health. That's not how lives work. That's cheating! I know it says you can't heal in between matches, but in any other game with a life system that implements a life system, if you lose a life, you respawn with at least full health. Not half of it, or whatever you had upon entry. That's not right! I've still got 2 hits upon starting despite losing a life. That's not right. I don't like that. That's dumb. If you lose a life, you should be back at full health. Now, when he pops up every time, is that a chance for an attack or something? I don't know. Because, like, every time he pops up, that could technically be a chance. Or is the whole particular attack pattern considered a chance to attack him? It's not really clear on that one. Oh, I got him twice! How did I get him twice? I don't think I've done that before. Did I do that before? I don't think I've done that before. I hit him twice. And he's done already. Wow, okay. Wow, you're a weak bastard, aren't you? She hit me when I was in mid-jump. How did she do that? Did you see that? Oh, and look at this. Last chance, yeah? Last chance. Respawning with one hit. How is that going to be fair, eh? Well, that's that gone. You see the problem here? You lose a life, and your health is the same. That's not how lives work. This is why I don't do this, because it doesn't follow the usual rules that any game with a life system has. You do not respawn by losing a life with full health. You stay the health that you entered with. I know it says no healing in between the boss battles, but as you saw there, I was at the end. I mean, before my final death, I was in the air above Moustache Girl, and she still somehow hit me with a bitch slap on the floor. And then I respawn with the exact same amount of hit points, not a full health like you would normally would. Even in this game, if you lose all your energy and respawn, you don't start back at the checkpoint with what health you had. You start back with a full health bar. So off screen, I beat it with peace and tranquility. Really, the only difference is you don't need to do the additional stipulations. You do not get regeneration. This is the one of the few times where you don't get regeneration, so you still got to follow the rules. But in this particular case, I will make mention right now that Crabbar does not hit on every chance to attack. He misses, I believe, to my count, one attack, and we'll get to that point when we do, but it doesn't happen during this particular boss fight. Of course, it's been sped up once again. Check out his channel for the full 1080p 60 frames goodness, as well as, you know, running at normal speed. I have to, you know, edit them in some way so I can at least show them for the walkthrough, as well as, you know, shout him out, because he allowed me to showcase the footage for the sake of the walkthrough, which is why I always say, thank you, mate, you're definitely more skilled than I. So, this is probably the longest part of the entirety of the boss rush. The reason why I obviously said that I sped it up was because they're the exact same bosses as before, so, yeah, it's actually kind of funny considering that both Crabbar and I both end up fighting the DJ Grooves and not the conductor, because if it was fighting the conductor, that would have been like a nice little parallel, but both pretty much done it the exact same way. It's easier doing it that way anyway in the main story, as we talked about before, so that's not a problem. But yeah, this battle, out of all the boss battles, takes the longest. Maybe second to Moustache Girl, maybe Moustache Girl takes a bit longer, but there's a lot more phases to that battle than this one. This one's just basically just in this room, and you've also got a timer, and you've got to do enough damage in order to get to the next point. With Moustache Girl, you, at certain points, you would actually have invincibility, and you pretty much attack at any point, and that's fine. Here, though, Crabbar whiffed, and he missed the thing, but that's literally the only time he missed. He did get it eventually, so, and we already know what that means, and he says it well himself, giving no pecs about failed bonuses with missing any chances, because it's boring, and it is. You missed one attack, big deal. So, I mean, obviously, that's the one, as far as I can tell by watching this part of the video, that was the only chance to attack that he did miss, unless missing Cherry Throws with Moustache Girl does count, but she's not actually hurtable during that point, because you can still home into her and it won't do any damage because of the force field itself. When the force field is gone and she's available to be hit, that's the case. But at the same time, during the Moustache Girl boss fight, I mean, this one as well, when he's bouncing around, he's not available to be hit where he's not glowing. But Moustache Girl doesn't glow. You can hit her at any particular point. In this particular case, it's just do not mess a cherry. He actually said on a little bit of a screen just a second ago, if a cherry actually does land in the water, that's an immediate fail on missing any chances to attack, which is a shame. For the Snatcher, like I said with Moustache Girl, is actually a bit of a thing when it comes to the availability of hitting them, because when the Snatcher's popping out the ground, he's hittable at pretty much any point. But, of course, you don't actually hit him until he takes a slight breather. So, I'm guessing the game only treats that particular attack time, like this point right here. While he's popping up at the ground, if he goes to his next attack, that might be the chance to miss. Instead of, you know, every time he pops out of the ground, because that'd be a bit ridiculous. So, I would assume that the game would do it in some sort of way that's a thing, and I don't know how to really explain it, really. It's just that when he's doing that particular attack that you can hit him, that counts. For Moustache Girl, however, if you can hit her while she's, like, teleporting around like a Dragon Ball Z character, like right now, you can hit her pretty much at any point during that point if you're quick enough. You don't have to actually hit her at specific points, like when she's actually vulnerable, unless that is a point in which the game will penalise you for not actually taking a chance to attack, but you can pretty much attack her at any point that if you're able to get her in between attacks, because it is possible. I mean, if you miss a hit with the Mafia Ball during this particular phase, that doesn't really count as a miss, in a way, because the ball doesn't just poof and then it has to respawn. And like I said again with the cherry, she's got a force field here. I don't think not landing a cherry counts, because she's still not hittable during that point until the force field is destroyed, because that's something completely different, unless the game counts that. So there's a few bits where it's not entirely clear on when it would be a miss, but as far as I could tell, in terms of being fairness, in terms of fairness, the only time that he truly missed an attack was that very point at which he himself pointed out. And he also pointed out at one point, like with the toilet, where if the cherry landed in the water in the middle of the stage, that's an immediate loss, because that's a chance to attack at that particular point, and he won't stop attacking until he spawns another cherry, so that's a problem. That's uncalled for, but, you know, considering that it may have taken quite a while for him to get through it as well, I don't blame him. And that is the end of the episode, guys. So in the next part, we get blamed for murder. See you guys next time. The Groovy Underdog. DJ Grooves debuts his very first film to a test audience. The test did not go so well. Actually, it offended the test audience. Meanwhile, watching from afar, the Club Penguins saw potential in DJ Grooves' style. They shielded the DJ director from the audience and directed him out to improve his directing. They have been making films together ever since.